As I mentioned before, if you ever need to change the page properties of an individual page versus making a site-wide change in the site properties dialog box, you'll have to use the page properties section of Adobe Muse. In this movie, I'll show you how to access that and some of the options that go along with it. So if you ever need to change a specific page for any reason, so let's say for instance the contact page needs to be a little different, I can right-click on that and choose page properties. When I get into the page properties dialog box, I have individual options for just this page. So I could say that this page is a little different in the fact that maybe it has different padding settings, different columns. Maybe it doesn't have any columns at all. Maybe I just reduce this to a one-column layout because it's only going to have one thing on it, a gigantic contact form. So maybe I don't need it to have that 12-column layout that we have on all the other pages. You can also add things like metadata options. You can add keywords to this. You can add HTML for the head tag. So for instance, if you needed to link to external CSS, or if you needed to add in some JavaScript or something like that, all of that information goes right in here. Keywords and descriptions. This is great for SEO purposes. If you need more information on that, we have some great SEO courses here in the lynda.com online training library. I highly recommend checking those out. You can also go into the options section and you can change the page name. You can change the page title, and right now it's set as the same as the page name. But if I wanted to, I could come in here and uncheck that, and I could just say, contact me, or something like that. I could change that up. That way, when I'm actually viewing the page in a browser, at the top of the browser window, I would see contact me versus just contact. Now, the page slug, what you typed in, .html, would still be contact, but the heading is a little bit cleaner, a little bit nicer, a little bit more friendly. You can also change the file name of this. That's the slug I was just talking about. You can change that if you want, but you don't have to. You can also choose whether or not this page is included in the sitemap that's generated. Sitemaps are very important for SEO purposes, and I highly recommend that you keep all of your major pages in the sitemap for indexing purposes. Now, you can also choose whether or not this page is in the menus that you create in here. So you could say exclude this page from menus, include this page with a hyperlink, or include this page in a menu without a hyperlink. Totally up to you, but in many cases, there's going to be certain sections of your website that you don't want indexed inside of a menu. Maybe it's just like a page for only certain people or things like that. You don't want it easily accessible. So you can easily come in here and exclude that page from the menu. It's very easily done. And so once you're finished setting all of this stuff up, and I notice I have a typo up here. Let's go back and fix that. So there's contact me right there. Once you have everything in here, verify that everything is correct. Otherwise, you make a mistake like I did. And then once you get finished, just hit OK. And now that layout is going to be different in every way that you chose inside of that dialog box. So let's take a look at this. Let's double click on Portfolio for a second. When I double click on Portfolio, it's going to open up and you see all of these different columns. That's the 12-column, 1,000 pixel layout that we chose when we first created the website. Now, if we go back over here to the plan view and double click on Contact, no columns. So this web page inside of our website has its own unique page properties that allow it to totally override that column layout that we see inside of the pages like Portfolio. So again, anytime you need to make changes like that, just right-click on this, choose Page Properties. You can also, while you're in Design View, you can go up to the Page menu and you can choose Page Properties, and that will take you to the same dialog box. You can also reset the page properties, and when you reset the page properties, everything goes back to the way it was when you first created the website.